The story begins with a student named Suzui Ryota. He experiences defeat in gambling, which makes him have a debt of 5 million yen to a woman named Saotome Mary. Because Ryota could not pay the debt, in the end, he had to accept pet status and was looked down upon by the students there. After that, they had a transfer student in the class. She was named Yumiko. Ryota was asked to accompany Yumiko around the academy and explain the rules. Yumiko's face was still innocent, so Ryota warned her not to gamble so she wouldn't become a pet. However, Yumiko laughs after hearing that. When class was over, Mary asks Yumiko to gamble with her. Knowing that she was the new transfer student, Mary wanted to make Yumiko her pet. Yumiko enthusiastically accepts the challenge, playing rock, paper, scissors with classmates' cards. Despite initial losses and losing 1 million yen, Yumiko surprises everyone by betting 10 million. In a sudden stroke of luck, she defeats Mary, who now owes her 8 million yen. Yumiko generously gives Ryota 5 million yen to free him from pet status. The next day after her defeat, Mary is bullied by class students and treated like a pet. Ryota explains that the pet rule has been in place since the student council was taken over by a woman named Kurari. Yumiko gets excited to gamble with Kurari so she can get a seat in the student council. A student council member, Itsuki, approaches them whose family owned a toy company. Itsuki invites Yumiko to play double cards. Yumiko accepts the invitation. The game is a double card where the player must open each card and remember the card's location so that they can match two of the same cards. They also make a bet of 20 million yen. Yumiko doesn't have that much money, so Itsuki lends Yumiko 20 million yen without interest. First round starts and Yumiko gets defeated because Itsuki had the upper hand. Yumiko owes 20 million yen, which sends Ryota into a panic. Yumiko, eager for a rematch, proposes a unique bet with Itsuki, her fingernails. Itsuki, known for collecting defeated opponents' fingernails, reluctantly agrees. Yumiko, with exceptional memory skills, deciphers hidden markings on the cards, winning the game. When Yumiko challenges Itsuki to bet her nails, Itsuki is frightened and reacts with fear, ultimately crying and wetting her pants. After the defeat, Itsuki gets expelled from the student council. Not only that, but the student council members also became interested in Yumiko. On the other hand, Mary challenges a student council member named Yuriko. Mary challenges her because there is a rule that pets can give up their pet status by playing against student council members. However, there is only one chance, and if she loses, she will become a pet until she graduates from school. Mary suffers a loss, and her debt reaches 50 million yen. Her mental health reaches the limit, and she falls into despair. After seeing Mary lose, Yumiko is even more excited to play with Yuriko. The game they play is life or death, and they bet 40 million yen on the game. First round ends in a draw. Yumiko discovers Yuriko is cunning and cheating. Yumiko is very insulting and demeaning to Yuriko. In a high-stakes moment, Yuriko, swept up in emotion, faces off with Yumiko in a risky bet of 40 million yen. Yuriko divides her chips, while Yumiko goes all in, aware of the dealer's magnet manipulation. The student council president intervenes, compelling Yuriko to continue. Despite Yumiko's knowledge, Yuriko remarkably wins, leaving Yumiko with a hefty debt of 310 million yen. As a result, Yumiko's status changes to that of a pet. The next day, even though the mice in the class laughed, Yumiko gets even more excited and plays herself as a cat. A rogue student named Kiwatari tries to find opportunities to play tricks on Yumiko. Kiwatari takes Yumiko to a deserted place and wants Yumiko to show her beautiful body there. Yumiko obliges and starts undressing, but a student council member named Midari arrives at the scene. Midari threatens Kiwatari and pulls out a gun, which makes Kiwatari leave from the scene. On the other hand, Mary is increasingly cornered because her life plan gets arranged by the student council, which is to marry an older man and have children with him. Mary gets annoyed, and to get out of control of the student council, she must pay off her debt before graduating from school. After that, the student council secretary Sayaka held a debt settlement game for all pets. They were divided into several groups, and Mary is in the same group as Yumiko. When the game starts, their opponents are Kiwatari and his partner Sobami. Kiwatari took part because he wanted to get more money if he manages to win, even though there was a risk of becoming a pet later. They play 2 Indian poker cards at the beginning of the game. Kiwatari dominates Mary and Yumiko, but Mary retaliates with humor, annoying him. Together, Mary and Yumiko manipulate Sobami to betray Kiwatari in a debt settlement game. They successfully hide chip values, and the game ends with Mary in first, Sobami in second, Yumiko in third, and Kiwatari in fourth. Kiwatari ends up as a pet with a 310 million debt, while Mary and Yumiko win 260 million. They become friends, and Yumiko, still a pet, reveals her goal of challenging the student council president in a future gambling game. The student council investigates Yumiko's background, and it is revealed that Yumiko has a lot of wealth, but it was all collected independently without the help of her family. She has an older sister who is sick and being treated at the hospital. She folds money into origami as if it has no value because she has too much money. Then Yumiko and Ryota are forcibly kidnapped by Midari and taken to a place where Midari wants to play a very crazy game with Yumiko. Because both are crazy, they play a death game with each other while Ryota becomes the dealer in the death game. They are asked to match the cards arranged by Ryota in 3 rounds. If they win, they can take a gun with random bullets. In the first round, Midari manages to win and immediately aimed the gun at Yumiko. It turned out that the gun belonged to Yumiko and had no bullets. They continue to the second round, and Yumiko manages to win. Yumiko looks for a weapon that weighs less because lighter guns had no bullets, so Midari would not die in the game. The third round ends in a draw. Yumiko still has a human side, and she tries to explain to Midari that her actions are ridiculous. But Midari wants to die. Listening to Yumiko words makes Midari very emotional, and she pees from the excessive emotions. Midari gets obsessed by Yumiko's words, and whenever she remembers her words, she becomes horny and stops by the toilet to pleasure herself with Yumiko's words. A crazy one for sure. Karari meets Mary and asks her to join the student council because she has managed to earn hundreds of millions before. Karari forces Mary to join, but Mary refuses because she doesn't like Karari's nature and her habit of demeaning other students. Karari leaves the academy for a while because there was a business outside. The student council president's departure makes the members go out of control. The student council treasurer Kid and the idol Yumami intend to defeat Yumiko. On the other hand, Itsuki meets Yumiko, Mary and Ryota and wants to join their friendship group. Itsuki offers her support to Yumiko if she needs help fighting student council members. Later, Yumami invites Yumiko to come to her place. Yumami explains that she wants to make Yumiko an idol with her. If Yumiko lost the gambling game, Yumami would make Yumiko an idol and debut in an adult film. Yumiko accepts this and is already preparing for the recording. It turns out that Yumami has a secret, that is, she hates her fans. She feels disgusted when shaking hands with them. Yumiko records all the conversations so Yumami can bet on her career as an idol in the gambling game. Later, when the game is about to start, Yumiko dresses up like an idol and goes on stage with Yumami. They must show their charms as idols to win the viewers' hearts. After going through various games, Yumiko starts to get serious about ending the game. They were asked to guess Mary's birthday and of course, Yumami didn't know it. In the end, Yumiko manages to beat her in the game and then Yumami's colleagues try negotiating with her to get rid of the tape. But Yumami decides to play the tape and risks her career as an idol. While Yumami was prepared that her dream as an idol would be destroyed, it turns out that the fans there were true fans. They still supported Yumami and don't care if Yumami belittles them more or feels disgusted with them. Simps. This makes Yumami happy to have fans who always support her. In the end, they both do duo to enliven the event. Yumiko reveals she was instructed to bring down Yumami but doesn't want to harm her. Suspecting Kid is the culprit, Yumiko challenges him to gamble, leveraging her pet status. Kid, compelled by the student council, reluctantly accepts. The vice president, Ririka, becomes the referee in their no-limit choice poker match, given Kid's substantial financial backing as a subsidiary of the National Finance Agency. The highest bet holder is free to determine a strong card or a weak card as a winner. Thus, Kid is very favored in the game. He prepares 100 chips worth 1 billion, while Yumiko only prepares 31 chips. When the game starts, it is seen that Kid is thinking optimally to predict Yumiko actions to defeat her decisively. In the first round, Yumiko won with a total of 41 chips. However, Kid turns things around and made her lose all her chips. The ongoing game sees Yumiko requesting money from Itsuki, who complies with 100 chips. As Kid raises the stakes, Itsuki, confident in Yumiko's victory, puts her entire life on the line, totaling 10 billion. Yumiko, aroused by the intensity, witnesses Kid questioning the bet's fairness. Ririka reveals herself as the student council president, making Itsuki's life worth 10 billion, pushing the total bet to 12 billion. Kid panics as surpassing this limit proves challenging for him. If Yumiko gets the right to vote, she will certainly win. Kid confidently risks everything in his life, bringing the total bet to 13 billion. Of course, the right to vote for cards is in Kid's hands now. With firm conviction, Kid chose the strong card as the victor. Hearing that makes Itsuki sad, even though she laughs slyly. Instantly, Kid loses badly because Yumiko's cards are superior to his. Ultimately, he fainted to the point that his hair turns white, resulting from losing all his wealth in an instant without anything left. Then Kurari becomes interested in Yumiko and asks her to play with her the next day. They prepare a place to play where they will be immediately expelled from the academy if she loses the game. They play the Tarot Divination game because it only takes 3 rounds to finish the game. The supervisor in the game is a student council member named Runa. At the beginning of the game, Yumiko opens a card worth 1 point, while Kiri opens a card worth 21 points. Ryota must open the Fool's card or worth 20 more points. Meanwhile, watching from above, Mary and Itsuki already know where the Fool's card was because previously Kiri had marked it with the same blue color as her fingernails. Knowing this, Ryota wanted to take it, but didn't do it because he felt that it was a trap. Then Ryota fights by randomly selecting cards and Yumiko goes crazy seeing Ryota. The game ended in a draw, and they go to school as usual. And that's the end of the video. If you liked what you watched, hit them like and subscribe buttons. Peace.